Hey guys, it's Will from Tnvc. I'm going to show you how to use the Discus. Besides the Discus, you need a military-style communications headset, such as this OpsCore amp. This is the connectorized version. And of course, you need your smartphone device that has Bluetooth capability in order to connect to the Discus. Now, you don't have to just use amps, of course. Peltor contacts work out just fine. Essentially, what you need is something with this NATO U174 downlead connector in order for it to plug into the Discus. Now, something to note is that TCI headsets, they are not compatible with the Discus due to the overmolding on their downlead connectors. They don't seat properly inside the Discus. And so that's just something to note. Now, the first step in the process, you're going to put your headset on and you're going to connect your downlead connector to the Discus. This is a crucial step. It has to be seated all the way inside of it. It's a very tight connection. You got to make sure it pops in all the way. You can hear the click, or the pop, I should say, and you can feel it when it goes in properly. It's going to look like this. And if you're not sure about how far it is in terms of going in there, this is what it should look like in terms of how far it is. But you can certainly feel it when it pops in there. And something to note is when you get it hooked up, once you get the Discus paired and everything, if you have any kind of audio problems, almost always the problem is going to be that your downlead connector is not seated properly. So this is the first place to check. Make sure that's seated properly. If you're still having issues, obviously, this thing's reliant on the components that are being used, and you might want to inspect your downlead connector here. Make sure the connector is in good shape. Inspect the cable. Some of the older headsets, with how long the GWatt went on and everything, there's a lot of Peltor contacts out there. And most guys aren't running them on radios and stuff, and so who knows the condition of the cables. So inspect those. If you've got a dual system, maybe try the other downlead, something like that. That is one case to be had for getting these connectorized amps, because if you got a problem with the cable, you can just unplug it and buy a new cable. So anyways, inspect your cable, check that, but most importantly, make sure it's seated all the way inside the Discus. Now, once it's in there all the way, next thing you're going to do is make sure you got your battery installed inside of it. Single CR123A comes with the Discus. Battery cover gives you your polarity indicators, so you know which way to put the battery in. And on the back of the unit here, you got a single power button that does everything, and you got 2 indicator lights. Super easy to use. And so first thing you're going to do is hold down the button. It's going to be a very long press, 3+ seconds. And as you're holding it down, you're going to get some green flashes, and you're going to hear some beeps on the headset to let you know it's turned on. And it's going to go into this pairing mode, and that's going to give you the green and blue flashing lights. This now tells you that the Discus is ready to be paired to your smartphone. And all you got to do is go in your phone like you would any other Bluetooth device. You'll find the Discus, you'll click on it to connect it, and then now you're connected. The lights stop flashing, and you can test functionality by going to your music player, making a phone call, something like that. With it. Now, if you're using the microphone on the headset, obviously make sure your headset's powered on so the microphone operates properly. Otherwise, they're not going to hear you talking through the microphone. And once that's going, it's a pretty simple process in terms of how to use it. So, for example, something to show you is when you have it powered on, let's say if you don't have anything going on with the Discus in terms of audio coming through, nothing like that, after 2.5 hours, it will power off. However, if you want to manually turn off, you're done with it. All you're going to do is have a long press on it. That's going to be 3 seconds plus. And then you're going to see some flashing blue lights, and you're going to hear some descending tones on the headset to let you know it powered off. That's how easy it is to turn off. When it's time to put it back on, it's going to be another long press. You're going to see green flashing lights come on, and you're going to have some audible noises in a ascending type of a tone fashion to let you know it powered on, and it'll connect automatically to your phone if your phone's already been paired to it. So a pretty easy process to turn off and then to turn it back on with the Discus. Now, something I'll show you here on the side of it, you've got this clip. This comes pre-installed on the Discus, and this allows you to connect it to parts of your clothing, straps on backpacks, plate carriers, chest rigs, things like that. However, it is rubberized. This thing works really good. It's really nice and stiff. It's going to grip whatever it's attached to really nice and tight. However, if you want to uninstall it, you can remove this thing, and if you want to use shot cord, different down lead type retainers, you can basically use those down lead retainers on the Discus to attach it to whatever you want to do, in terms of retaining it better than having the clip. But the clip does work great. And something to show you that's additional to the that you can run in combination with the Discus are going to be push-to-talk systems that are NATO U94 type push-to-talks. And so, for example, this one right here, this is a DISCO32 push-to-talk. And all you got to do is take your connector right here and plug it into the push-to-talk. And now once you have your radio turned on, you will get radio capability in terms of your push-to-talk functionality, communications from your radio, and they'll travel straight through the Discus, go into your headset, and you can have both audio sources or communication sources at the same time. So you could basically be listening to music, still receive radio traffic, as well as you could be on a phone call, have radio traffic as well. This is a nice option for a lot of stuff. I know a lot of guys kind of don't see how this applies. And this is something to where, for example, you have contingency plans for different, instances for different professional type of users. For example, if your communication system, your primary system on the radio went down, you now have this thing connected already, and you have the ability to then go to your backup plan and potentially make phone calls. There's different encrypted applications that are legal to use. We have them such as Signal. There's different things out there. Basically anything that you can run off of your smartphone, obviously through Bluetooth, is going to work through the Discus. And so you do have the backup ability to then still communicate with teammates or do things like that if you do have radio problems. That's one big advantage to the Discus right here. And so it's a pretty straightforward deal. If you guys have any questions on anything, feel free to send us an email, sales@tnvc.com, or just give us a phone call. And it's a really great device. I think you guys are going to love it.